So, lads, today we're going to talk about what I actually believe is the worst decision a referee has made in the WNBA this year. I actually think this has been the worst decision a ref has made, and I think that the referee, who very much noticed that they saw this, should actually be like... It's one thing about... I think the referees who made the Breanna Mabry flagrant 1 and said this isn't a flagrant 2 should be fired for that. And I think there are only certain things you should be fired for. And I personally believe anything that puts players in danger is a fireable offense. Anything that doesn't is a complete disregard for the safety of the players. Because at a fundamental level, the most important thing is to keep the players safe as a referee. At a fundamental level, rather than enforcing the rules, any of that other stuff, the most important thing at a fundamental level is that your players are safe. Is that the players, when they're on the floor, are completely safe. Regardless of what you want to argue, what you want to say, on a fundamental level, that is what you have to do. But we saw in yesterday's game that an object, which I will blur what the object is right here. You guys can read what it is. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what it was, to be honest. It doesn't really matter what was thrown. It turned out, yes, it was harmless, and yes, it was a sex toy that was thrown on the floor. But let's just watch what happens here. So, Veronica Burton ends up coming off. And this, by the way, there's 1 minute to go in the game. The Atlanta Dream are losing to the Golden State Valkyries. And let's be honest, the Golden State Valkyries have very few away fans. Nearly all their fans are home fans. The Dream are playing the Valkyries. So, you can assume that most of the fans there are Dream fans. And in the course of the game, Veronica Burton's on a drive, and as you can see, something goes flying. So something is thrown in the direction of the players. So you can see right here, flying across the screen there, is something being thrown in the direction of the players. And what does the referee do? Points at it. How is the Janelle Salon and Naz Hillman are pointing like, what is that? The referee just says play on. This ref here just says play on. I'm sorry, nobody knows what that is when it's being thrown on the floor. He just points. He just sees it flying past him and points at it. That could have been anything. That could have been a flare. That could have been, heck, it could have been a firework. That could have been literally anything. It could have been anything. And it was thrown at the players. Stop the damn game. Stop the game when you see something fly across the middle of the court from the crowd. When you see a fan throw something at a player to try put them off with a minute to go. Stop the damn game. It's as simple as that. It is very simple. The basics is that you do not know what the hell that is. You stop the game. You stop the game during the play. You reset the shot clock to 14 and you give them a side out of bounds. I don't think either team would care about that. And screw it if that isn't the way protocol is. On a fundamental level, the most important thing is that players are safe. It is genuinely that players are safe. That is the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, there was no way for that referee to confirm what that object was that was thrown on the floor. And he didn't even stop the game. The referee's job in that scenario, when you see something fly from the stand onto the court towards the players, you blow that whistle and you get the players off the floor. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Realistically, fans in basketball are way too close to the court for that. They are. Like, it's not like... First of all, how did they get it in? But second of all, it could be anything. And you better believe a lot of people are like, oh, it couldn't have been anything worse because they wouldn't have been able to get anything worse in. Man, they got a sex toy into the arena. Who's to say it couldn't have been something else? Like, straight up, your job in that scenario as a referee is to stop the damn game. Stop the game. Get the players off the floor for 10 seconds till you find out what it is. And you know what they did? They waited until the play stopped. So the play stops, and then they pull everybody in and stop the whole game. You can see Jordan Canada's reaction here. Then they do it. Like, you have to keep the players safe. This is, for me, this is absolute negligence. Absolute negligence. This is something that the referees have to. And I mean, this is one of those screw the rules, screw all it is, screw the contact, screw what the owners want. You saw a projectile fly across the floor, thrown towards the players in the last minute of the game, realistically, to put off the Golden State Valkyries players. You stop the game. Like, we can all have a good laugh about it now because we know exactly what it is. But I'm sorry. Like, you have to do that. You have to. You have to go and keep the players safe. And I don't think the players were obviously not in danger. It's not saying that. But as a referee, when you see a projectile, you don't point at it. Blow your fucking whistle. Stop the game. Reset the shot clock to 14. If a coach wants to complain about it, and you pull a coach over, I mean this when I say this. If a coach complains about you resetting the shot clock to 14 when there was 12 seconds to go, on the clock, or heck, even if you reset to 10, if it resets to 10 when it was thrown, and that's what it was, and the Casse is angry, if you literally pull her over and go, we needed to stop, we needed to make sure the players were safe, and if she says a negative word about that, then you deal with the fucking consequences as a referee if coaches are pissed. I'm sorry, like, it's all fun and games because we know what it was. It is all fun and games. We know what it was. It's not the biggest deal in the world, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter with the outcome. It's about the processes. And the more that people are just kind of immune to this, and the fact that the referees are probably going to get completely let off the hook for this, no. Genuinely no. Like, you don't get off the hook for this crap. You absolutely don't. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is. And look, all's well that ends well, I guess. All's well that ends well. But at the end of the day, like, there's no guarantee that it ends well. What happens if it had hit a player? Like, it was 3 feet off hitting a player. Players move around. What happens if that hits a player? You stop the game and everything happens. You've just got to do a better job. Fuck the rules. Fuck all protocol. At the end of the day, when you see a flying object in the last minute of a game be thrown at players, you got to do something about it and not just point. And the fact that the referee saw it and pointed at it means there's absolutely no argument of, oh, the referee didn't realize how bad it was. The referee literally saw something fly onto the court and just said, nah. But anyway, I'll see you guys.